Hello, welcome to the third in this new series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
hello,
and Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
We've had loads of emails, thank you for those. Sorry we can't reply to them all personally, but keep them coming, some interesting ones. There's one in particular here, from a guy who says, I see there is less swearing now you're charging for the podcast. Dumbing down already, ?
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
I don't know how that's dumbing down.
Well, no, not swearing. That's interesting. Not swearing is dumbing down. And also, the fact that he's complaining that we're not swearing enough.
Yeah.
What sort of a cunt would bother writing that email?
Don't know, mate. I don't know, but I know he's just some kind of fucking cocksucker.
What have you got, Annie?
Well, now, of course, a couple of weeks back, you gave the rather long-winded but fascinating, sort of brain teaser, conundrum, philosophical question about the, heaven and hell doors. And there's been a number of responses to that.
I know.
Explain your error.
Well, I got it. I realised as soon as we put it out there that I should have said, assume no prior knowledge. Otherwise, you can just say, hold up a cat and say, is this a dog? Or you can say, what's my name? But they don't know anything about you, that's the thing. They only know about themselves, and I should have said that.
Yeah. So are you willing to just now say that you've embarrassed yourself?
I've embarrassed myself. I should have said, yeah, it's got to be about, it's only about the, you can ask questions.
Well, do you know what? It's a bigger man than many that can admit that mistake.
Or a man that's banged to rights and obviously caught out and has no choice.
Well, it's quite interesting to wade through the emails and find out the kind of people that are listening, get a sense of the different listeners. And I know you, Rick, have met some of the big celebrity names that have listened to the show, and it's sort of because you've actually met them. But it's now we've got celebrities who are just emailing in, just letting us know. This one is from a guy called Aaron. He says, my name's Aaron Douglas, and I play Chief Tyrol on TV's Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, right.
And he listens to the show in his trailer. Now, I don't watch Battlestar Galactica. I hear it's very good.
Yeah,
but it's nice to know that.
I don't watch it. I don't watch any of those things, but that's.
It's nice that Chief Tyrol. And for those of you that watch Battlestar Galactica, I'm sure that means something. But nice that he got in touch. But I'm just thinking, who would you, in an ideal world, Rick, who would be your ideal listener, a celebrity listener?
Well, it's not so much celebrities for me. I like the idea that captains of industry or scientists or people actually doing something worthwhile are listening. That's what excites me, because they hear. You know, we've had a couple of emails from people who are doing, you know, PhDs and psychologists and that excites me more. These academics are listening. I mean, who's the weirdest person you think that, who should have more time on their hands? You know, Stephen Hawking. Imagine Stephen Hawking listening to this show. You know, he's putting together the formulation for the universe, but he's gonna listen to a little bit of monkey news from Karl Pilkington.
Imagine Stephen Hawking emailing us at podcast@rickygervais.com. I mean, that would just blow our minds, wouldn't it? He's got time to do that. That he's got the inclination to bother doing that.
He's always online, though, isn't he? He's always hooked up.
Is he?
Well, he's always got a little computer on. Why not? Sure, that's one of the perks. You can just bung an email out whenever. I'm not having a go. That's what I'm thinking. He's sat there with his little computer. Out of all the people in the world to have a chat with, I'd probably like to have a chat with him about space and that, because I can't get my head around it.
Carl, you can't get your head round frozen foods. What a chance you can have with the universe.
No, but just putting stuff out there, it freaks me out when I'm lying there in bed at night and I think about how this world. On Friday, right, I was in bed with Suzanne and I said, could the world fall? Right?
It's like something from Chicken Licking.
Wow. That's a hell of a bit of pillow talk, that.
Isn't foreplay hell? Oh, God.
But I'd like to sort of have a chat with him, because I reckon he could put it in a way that I could understand it.
Oh, I wish an Inuit was listening.
Did I not tell you this? We had an email from an Inuit.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I'd mentioned this. Have we not mentioned this before?
No,
there was an email from a guy who said, I don't think he lives in Canada, I think, or somewhere else. I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. But I think he said he was half Inuit, and he listens to the show.
Half Inuit? See, that's interesting, because I think them as so remote. I know I'm probably wrong now, but I think of those as so remote that I can't think where they're meeting people who aren't
that are also Inuit, yeah.
Oh, and who's going, other societies are going, I'll tell you what, I'm fed up, there's no action here, I'm going to the frozen tundra, I'm bound to meet someone there.
Yeah.
Where do they meet? Do they do online dating? What,
probably a lot of online stuff.
What do you put as hobbies? Fishing?
Yeah. Skinning stuff.
Skinning stuff, yeah. What stuff to skin?
Seals.
Seals, yeah, sure. That's about it, isn't it?
Why are they hanging about round there? Why are seals going, do you know what, it's cold, I'm sick of it here. It's windy all the time, what have you, and I'm getting a club on the head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're meant to be quite bright in terms of animals and that, aren't they?
Yeah.
So why are they knocking about them parts?
I don't know.
Say, like, if seals died out, right? Would that be a problem?
We've done this.
We've been through this before, Karl.
Everything has a knock-on effect.
Even a seal, that's sort of in between something already. It's between a fish and a and a dog, innit?
I knew you were going to say dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. What do you think evolution does? Fish to
I'll never
dog.
understand it. Maybe we
What
shouldn't
do you
talk
mean
about it.
it's between a fish and a dog?
I'm just saying it's.
It was a perfectly evolved mammal that re-entered the water, I imagine, and then got streamlined and... I mean, it's between a fish and a dog.
But why not have one and the other? Why not have, like, you know, you've got a dog, you've got a fish.
No, it's
anything
not
in the
between
middle,
a fish and a dog. It's not between a fish and a dog. I don't know what between means. I don't know what...
This is it again about saving everything all the time. What is it doing? What's he doing? Everyone's feeling sorry for him all the time. Save the seal and all that. What's he doing? Why are we saving it? Let's just ask that question. What's it doing?
I don't know what to say. It's between a fish and a dog.
That bloke, the Eskimo who emailed in,
Inuit.
would he be in a igloo thing?
Probably not, no.
Well, no, not. I mean, I don't think many igloos have got internet capabilities. I don't know. I don't want to slag them
But
off.
why aren't we saving them? Why aren't we?
Maybe there's sort of,
When you build it, leave a little hole.
Yeah.
That's where the...
but there's kind of igloo internet cafes. They
Yeah, they go there, they all go to one igloo, yeah.
But why are they being left alone to live like that when it isn't great?
What?
Well, we're always eager to help everyone in the world, aren't we? We're always like going, oh, look, them people are fed up. Let's build the city up for them. Give them a, you know, coffee shop and all the rest of it. They're being left alone.
Frappuccinos for them.
They're being left alone in igloos and stuff.
Yeah.
Why isn't anyone saying?
But they're not asking for help. They're happy. Well, they're not necessarily happy, but that's the way they live. That's where they choose to live.
But why hasn't anyone just gone over and gone, do you know what, we can make it a bit better for you?
Well, they have.
I've never had a leaflet through the door saying help an Eskimo out, or, you know, clothing for Eskimos.
There's the most remote people in the world. Eventually, someone gets them some whiskey and fags, and that's the end of them as a culture. It happens all around the world. There can be this idyllic world where there's no stress, and soon they're watching Come Dancing on telly, knocking back some whiskey and smoking 40 fags a day.
But they're not moving,
Surely
are they?
Dancing on Ice.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, like, Oxfam collects clothes for people in Africa where it's warm, probably don't need a jacket. Nothing for Eskimos where it's freezing, where they'd be quite happy to get a jumper in the post.
Right, okay. So what are you suggesting? To Africa we send parasols and sun
Bikinis.
cream. Yeah. You're an idiot.
Out of all the people in the world to have a chat with, do you know, what's his face? That German doctor.
Which one? The guy that displays the human body?
Guns Traven or something.
All right, yeah.
He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the way, you know, he cuts stuff up, shows you how the body works and that.
Sure.
And have you learnt anything from that?
Well, I don't. Is he a proper doctor? Because it's just that it's always. I mean, I could cut a body up. I never see him sort of put it back together. Is anyone keeping an eye on him? Sort of going, well, who is he actually?
I'm sure he's a proper doctor.
Well, he sort of cuts bodies up on the telly and sort of goes, here's how, like, the intestines work or whatever.
All right.
And he just he holds them up, fills them with food. And he goes, look, they go fatter. And, I mean, he doesn't answer everything. Like, he doesn't say, I don't understand why the intestines have to be that long. I don't know why it just can't go from the throat to the belly, exit, straight dark line down, out the arse.
You must know.
Well, no, because the way he dragged it out and it was like miles long.
Yeah.
Pointless.
No, it's not pointless.
Just have a straight, do you know what I mean? Straight down.
It's to increase the surface area for absorption. So a foot long intestine, you wouldn't absorb much food. Whereas you go down, you know.
Yeah, but just have more points in it where it has to go through some sort of filter.
What are you talking about? Again, the evolution sort of worked this out for us. It really works.
I don't think you're going to improve on it. In your mind, some kind of Kerplunk style intestine.
No, but what I mean is that's probably that long because years ago they were eating dinosaur, and that might have took a lot of indigestion or something. I don't know how chewy it was. It might have been quite fatty, dinosaur meat, and it needs to go through all that. Now we're eating like yogurt. So I mean, we don't need anything that, you know, is doing that much work anymore. All the food is mashed up. Auntie Nora, right? All her food is mashed. Right? She doesn't have to chew anymore. She's got teeth, but she doesn't need them. And that's how.
She's got teeth, but she don't need them.
No, but that's how we're
she could have her intestines removed then.
Well, no, but this is what I'm saying.
That would sort our other problem, wouldn't it?
We're changing everything all the time, aren't we? I mean, there's some fella who was looking at on the internet, identical twins, right? They were sort of sick of looking like each other, so they were like, what can we do, right? And one of the twins said, you have my arm, right? And he had his arm taken off and stuck on his twin, so his twin's got like 3 arms.
No, it's not true.
It's on the website.
No, it's not true.
What, for a laugh? They were born, so they didn't have for a laugh.
What doctor's doing this then?
Well, they're old enough to sort of say this is what we want, and...
No, doctors don't go, well, if he wants another arm and I'll take that, doctors don't do that. What sort of practice is this doctor going around and go...
Dr. Jekyll.
I mean, Karl, think of what you're saying.
But where
would he have stopped? Can you put his head on my knee? It's up to you.
No,
sign this. If you sign this, you give my consent.
But we, you know, it is annoying.
What do you think these doctors sit around doing? Playing Mr. Potato? Or what do you think these doctors are doing?
Just to do as they're told.
They don't do as they're told.
They do if someone wants it, and twins, sort of, it can get you down, can't it? Being a twin, because it's like...
Sorry, what would this solve, though? I thought you said he gave one of them a bigger nose, or a beard, or 2 front teeth to make him look different, right? Not... I'll tell you what we could do. Go on. Would you like 1 arm? Go on, what are you thinking? Well, me 3, you 1, therefore not twins.
Novelty.
I mean, you are a mental man.
But they can do it now, can't they? There's no sort of... There's no line drawn anymore. They don't go, you're crazy, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, in Saw 2, not in the real world. No, they don't do things like this.
Alright, there's another bloke, right? I don't know the sort of full ins and outs of it.
Go on, you surprise me.
But what he asked for, something happened to his tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
His penis.
Yeah, right. So he was at the doctor's, and they were like, oh, what can you do for me? It's a bit embarrassing, I've got nothing down there, right? So they were like looking at it, going, yeah. Doctor, I don't know if he started like rubbing his chin with his finger or something. Looked down, he's thinking, got an idea. You know, you've got a lot of fingers, how many of them do you use? The patient's like, yeah, I see what you're thinking. They cut off one of his fingers, sewn that on to where his tackle is. He's happy.
Well, that's different though, isn't it? Well, that's where they've taken tissue. No, but I assume they fashioned it into more of a knob than a finger.
No, I still think it's there with like a little knuckle and you know, fingernail and that one.
Well, I assure you it isn't. They've probably used the finger as a basis to then build up some sort of knob-based organ.
If you were doing that, use a sausage. I mean, why lose a finger for...
Well, I'll tell you why. Because your finger has your tissue, your blood type, and therefore would graft near your testicles. A sausage is a thing that's made by a butcher out of offal, okay, that really can't be grafted onto any part of the human body. That's why they very rarely use any meat products in surgery. I know, yeah. Well, I mean, why not use a sausage? You're a mental case.
I saw some bloke the other day in a meeting, and on his desk, he had a picture of his kids who were twins, right? And, they looked alike, and he did that thing of dressing them the same, that sort of thing, that annoys me, right? And I sort of said, you know, you've only got a small desk, just have a picture of one of them. He looked at me like I was mental. It's just
That's
weird, isn't it?
amazing.
It's not. I think it's it's sort of common sense.
You know what you've come up with there? No solution to anything. That's what you've come up with there. You've come up with the best no solution I've ever heard in my life.
Or it's solutions to problems that don't exist.
No, because more room on the desk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's no solution to a problem that didn't exist in the first place. Well done.
There was a picture on when I was on the plane coming back from here, there was a picture of this new luxury hotel. It'll be, I think, $10,000 a night to stay there. It looked extraordinary. It was a hotel, and the best rooms were built under the water, under the sea.
Wow.
So it was the best hotel we've ever seen, but surrounded on all sides by glass, and out of it you could see the sea, the sharks, the fish.
I don't think I'd like that.
No?
But that, again, that's just one of them hotels where it's over the top for over the top sake, isn't it? Like where they have 12-course meals. Well, just have 2 but make them bigger, rather than dragging it out and there's the first course. A couple of
Snails.
Yeah, it's just for me all that is.
Don't eat a snail. Don't have one snail. Eat one big tortoise. If you want slow food, don't have loads of little snails. Here, there's a giant tortoise. Tuck into that. Feeds 10. But it's what you were saying before. When you start having to take a risk with food, like the fish that can kill you if you eat it, don't bother. There's apparently a delicacy in Japan, again, someone could verify this, where they eat a live little octopus. And it can stick to your throat, because it's obviously fighting for its life. I mean, good. Again, you don't need to eat a live octopus. What are you thinking? How cruel is that?
Well, how fresh do you need your food? It's not, do you know what I mean? But I always remember this story when I was a kid about, some bloke who, bit sad, this story, but weird. He had, throat cancer, right? And his doctor said, carry on with your life, right? It's not going to be that good, but just carry on, but don't eat meat. And he was like, oh, I love meat. He's like, yeah, but just don't, have your veg, plenty of vitamins and stuff, keep yourself strong, but don't be eating that. Anyway, he was fed up because he loved his meat, and his wife was feeling a bit sorry for him one day, and thought, I'm sick of him looking fed up and that, all he wants is some meat, for God's sake, give him some meat. So she goes to the butcher's, gets him a big piece of, like, steak and what have you. He can't believe it, he's like, oh, brilliant, cheers for that. Anyway, he's got the meat on his plate, just about to tuck in, and the cancer comes out from his throat. What? No, it's something, I know, it sounds really weird, but it's something that I was told about years ago when I was growing up.
What are you talking about?
It was just some bad illness, some cancer thing, and it sort of, it was coming out waiting for the meat. It was sort of dying.
Again, I get a lot of your medical, knowledge is from...
It's from the film Alien.
So this guy with throat cancer, okay, as opposed to it being a disease of the cell...
It was like a living...
The alien. It was alien.
So it was the animal. It was the little animal cancer.
That's why
what
he
are you
wasn't allowed to
talking
eat
about?
meat. He wasn't allowed to eat meat.
So it's sitting there, so it's actually sitting there and throat. Why, I'll tell you what I'd have done if I'd have had some cancer in my throat. I'd go, there you go, rid of that. What are you talking about? So what happened?
He choked to death on this thing, and the wife was like, oh, I shouldn't have given him the meat after all. Just
that's a bollock story.
It's all, there's loads of weird stuff like that
There
that
is.
happens in medical stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, if you got testicular cancer and you eat meat, your bollocks come out of your trousers, and they're all over the plate, and you have to be asked to leave the restaurant.
The other thing that I was told when I was younger about medical stuff and that,
who's telling you this stuff?
My mum told me about it.
Jeez.
Because she always says to me dad, because he has too much meat, and she's always like,
Remember the
feather with the, and he goes,
the troll in his throat.
But, me gran, she had something, wrong with her eyes. And they sort of took them out, and they were just dangling on her cheek, and she could still see through them. They were operating on her.
Oh, yeah, you would have, yeah.
They sort of say...
No, she wouldn't have been conscious, though.
No, they were then, because it's something to do with the eyes, and it's like... No, it's no good operating on eyes if your eyes are asleep.
What do you mean, your eyes are asleep?
It's like a heart, isn't it? You want to keep them awake.
No,
so
what do you mean you want to keep them awake? What, heart surgery is blokes awake? Stop talking shit all your life.
What I mean is they don't stop the heart. They sort of...
they don't stop your heart because it kills you.
Yeah, I know. So what I mean is it's like the eyes. They wanted to make sure they were working, So the only way to do it is keep her awake.
No, it's not, because you don't know whether they're working or not. You can't see what she sees. What, you think, you can plug something in and see what people are thinking?
It was something like that.
No, it wasn't something like that.
Well, she could see. She
No,
said it
she
was
couldn't.
really weird. How, like, you know, you can see.
She could see her knees.
That is bollocks. Oh, chimpanzee, that is only gone and written it down, the little...
That's the jingle for Karl's diary, excerpts of which we read each week. Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right, one is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Where do you come from? Okie dokie. It's a terrible place that we don't know whether we put our left leg in or our right leg in. Sometimes we shake it all about.
No, we're not sure if we should.
But, Conga! Fucking hell, you're such a...
Went into the gadget shop today. It's full of stuff that we don't need. Gadget used to be a good word that made you think of James Bond with all his gadgets. The best thing I could find in the shop was a clock that ran on potatoes. We are definitely going backwards.
I agree. Well, who cares about that? You know, a little electrical impulse, so what?
Had a night out with old schoolmate. Found out about more of the other lads I went to school with. One is living underground.
What do you mean living underground? Not like a mole. Do you mean he's got a basement, or do you mean he digs a hole every night?
My mate went to visit him and he said it had been raining really heavily and that, and it's all the rain's running in.
What do you mean he went to visit him? He went down here? What's that? That's an hole in the ground. Yeah, come in.
He just said, oh, come round and see us, and he's living underground.
What do you mean he's living underground?
He wanted to be in the army but was turned away, and that's the closest thing you can sort of...
How is that similar to
Oh, that's
in
exactly
the army?
like the army, yeah, where they teach you trades and, you know, engineering and flying.
He's happy down there. He said it was really muddy and what have you. He said he won't be going back to visit him.
What's he got down there?
Just stuff, just like a sleeping bag, a lamp.
He's dug himself a subterranean cave.
Near my old infant school, they knocked it down because it was like a wreck. You'd be in the class and you could lean on the wall.
Yeah,
and your hand would go through it and stuff. And they knocked it all down, and I think that's when he was at his most happy, this bloke.
I believe this, though. I believe someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That doesn't shock me. Whether the tales I've heard of horses in houses and big-headed kids with webbed hands and feet, you know, and him, I believe that someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That isn't bizarre to me.
You spent far too long with him if that now you're just happy to accept.
I totally accept that. I'd be surprised if I walked round where he lived that there weren't more people living in holes. His dad wanted to throw his budgie on the fire.
True.
His budgie died, his dad said, let's throw it on the fire. I mean, his mum, what did your mum do when your budgie died?
She just was worried about the other bird that was left, so she made it a bit of company by getting a rock, getting a feather off the dead budgie, sticking it on the rock, putting it in the cage.
So, a man living in a hole is not that bizarre. Right, carry on.
I read me science magazine. Some things I learnt from the science magazine. Number 1, space is running out of space. We should stay out of the sea 'cause shark attacks are up.
Yeah, probably 4 a year now.
Well, he just says here, we should just stop going in the sea.
Yeah.
There's no need for it.
Exactly.
Why is there no need for going in the sea?
Just 'cause there isn't now, is there? We've got loads of land. So just, you know, one or the other, we walked out the sea. Now, this is what I mean about going backwards. Getting back in it again. We came from the sea originally, now we're going back in it. Don't go in it. Unless you're in a boat.
The rules, according to Karl Pilkington.
The rules of Karl Pilkington.
Oh, God.
Did the podcast and then went for a walk round Manchester Square. Years ago, a woman lived round there who had a head like a pig. She was known as the Pig Woman of Manchester Square. That made me think if there were other pig-headed women knocking about London.
Do you know what I mean? Why was she nicknamed that? Why not just the pig-headed woman? That suggests to me like there was loads of pig-headed women, and that's the one of Manchester Square.
Right.
Well, no, it was more to do with identifying her, not amongst other pig-headed women, but go, have you seen the pig woman of Manchester Square? I.e., go down there and see the pig woman, it's in Manchester Square.
What happens if she's walked off from there, though, and you go, well, no, but I saw one on New Cavendish Street?
No, well, she'll always come back if you rattle the feed.
Watched a film about Hitler. Didn't watch all of it as it was subtitled. Can't be doing with that. Asked Suzanne if cinemas are full of deaf people when they're showing subtitled films. She said, shh, I'm trying to watch it. I said, what do you mean, shh? It's subtitled, I can make as much noise as I want.
Yeah.
She's a lucky, lucky woman.
You must be a joy to watch a subtitled film. I mean, the concentration is up there already. I mean, it is hard to concentrate. It's not as easy as when you're hearing it, because you read things, but it's possible. If you had a buffoon going, I'm just gonna sit here and make as much noise as I want, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
What is the point of that? I mean, it's possible, but why do that in a cinema? Just walk into a subtitled film and go, right, everybody? Let's all do the conga.
Well, yeah, or during ballet. Ballet, they're just dancing. You don't need to listen to the words. Just have a conversation. We're having our bathroom done. The bathroom man was round at 9 this morning. We weren't allowed to use the shower because it all had to be bone dry before we could use his waterproof filler. Not that waterproof then. Went for a brew with Ricky. We talked about monkeys and how they are closer to humans than they are to apes, and how bees will drink cider to get off their heads. Now and again there is a bee that lets the drinking get in the way of the work, and other bees sting it to death. Blimey.
Yeah, well, there's bees, they love a drink. And they will drink pure alcohol. They drink 100%, they drink ethanol. I don't know why. They love getting off it and they fall down and they're drunk, right? A bee can take in the equivalent of 20 litres of wine, right? But some bees get addicted in the same sort of percentage as human addiction, like 10% of bees, they can't get enough of it. They take ethanol, they take cider apples and that. And then when they get back to the hive, they go in a bit pissed and they've got guard bees and they go, come on, we've all had a drink.
Bouncers.
Yeah. They sort of are, right? And they push them away and push them away again. Then the next time they go, right, I've had enough. And they give it a good hiding. And Karl couldn't get over this. I saw his face, but I knew that he was thinking of that bee with sort of like eyes rolling round his head, a little bit belligerent with his jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
And the bouncer going, come on son, we've all had enough, let's move away,
Yeah.
move away.
You're not coming in, alright? You're wearing trainers.
Yeah, you're wearing 3 pairs of trainers, and I'm sick of it,
But what I did find out, because I went home and went on the computer trying to find out about drunk bees knocking about, they're not actually meant to fly. It's only because they don't know.
Fly.
Well, no, but if they were told that you're not actually designed to fly, they wouldn't bother.
No, this is that thing that goes around that aerodynamically, on the face of it, looking at the size of the wings and the body proportions and everything, that it's a surprise that they can fly. Okay, it's not that no one's ever told them they can't, and as soon as someone tells them you're not meant to fly, they all fall out of the sky going, oh, what are we doing? Like in a cartoon.
No, but it's something about the confidence and that. At the moment, nobody's saying
There's nothing to do with the confidence. There is no such thing as confidence in bees. A bee never loses its nerve. That's not why it drinks. Because what are you drinking for? I'm just not confident anymore. There's no point to turn to the bottle. I can't go up there again. You're an idiot. Well, it's that time, isn't it?
What?
Rockbusters.
Oh, yes, the time that no one looks forward to.
Chimpanzee that, Rockbusters. Oh, fuck it.
Right, so, gave you 3 clues last week, 3 cryptic clues. Some initials of a band or an artist you emailed in. Rob Harding got it, right?
Oh, nice work, Rob.
So, well done. The 3 clues, the first one was, RP for the initials, and the clue was steal that woman's flower, right?
Yeah.
So that was a cryptic clue. The answer there is Rob Plant.
Rob Plant.
Rob Plant.
I don't know who that is though. There's no artist called Robert Plant.
That's like Robert Plant. Robert Plant.
Yeah,
but you don't say that. You sort of go, oh yeah, I'm into it.
You do say it.
Have you got the,
it means
new
like
album by Robert Plant. Yeah,
Robert Plant.
They wouldn't go what?
I don't know. I don't know. Are you saying rubber plant?
The second
what are you
one,
saying there, Karl? Though
the second one was.
It doesn't work.
The initial was B, and then that was keep whacking the cooker with a stick, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have to be a stick. We pointed that out. Just keep whacking the cooker.
Keep whacking the cooker. Yeah.
That was B. That was B oven.
Beat Oven. I don't know who that is either. Is that a group?
Beat Oven?
Is that like Beatles? Who's the Beat Ovens?
Classical sort of stuff. Beethoven. Beethoven.
No, you said beat it.
Again,
though.
they got
It's
it.
bait. Hold on, wait a minute.
Just saying though, they
No,
got it.
it's bollocks.
Rob
because,
Harding got it.
No, Beat Oven is not Beethoven.
They got it.
Do you understand?
The last one, the initial was M, right?
I just want to know who Robert Plant is.
Don't be worrying about Rubber. No.
Because it's not a name. He's not the one in Led Zeppelin, is he?
So M was the initial. The clue was Venice. It's all water, innit? How would you describe it? There's hardly any land, right? So
canal.
if there's hardly any land, right, it's more water. What sort of water would you get, right?
Wet.
And then what?
Wetville.
No, but just like water that in Venice. What sort of water is it? It's sort of
Muddy.
no, not
Muddy waters.
no. But how would you describe Venice?
What's the
If there's more.
But what's the initial again?
M? If there's
M.
more.
Muddy waters.
If there's more sea than land, what would you say? Would you probably say there's sort of more of it is sea, isn't it? More is sea.
More is sea.
More is sea.
More is sea.
More is sea. So that's the
Morris,
answer.
I don't know who that
Who
is.
is that?
Morrissey.
More is sea.
Morrissey. So well done to.
That's the worst one you've ever done.
Well
It's
done
ridiculous.
to.
That's
It really
the
is
worst you've
ridiculous.
ever done.
It's ridiculous.
More is sea.
Right, if they're that shit, don't do it anymore.
So well done to Robert Harding. He's in London. Right, this week's there's another 3.
Oh
so,
God, we haven't even come to this week, so I'd forgotten that.
Fuck, this is the last time we do this. Monkey News back next week.
No.
Yeah, well, this is shit. This is pathetic. Really, it's making you look a bigger moron than you are. More is C.
I didn't
Robert
think that was
Plant. They
possible.
don't fucking work. Let's do Monkey News.
They're getting them right though. It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Bit of shit.
Right, the first one, the initials ND. Right, ND. Who is it? He sings songs on that. Right, ND. The clue. That Jamaican fella doesn't want anything. So you've got to sort of imagine, oh, why is it a Jamaican fella?
Yeah.
Right? That Jamaican fella doesn't want anything. ND. Second one, the initial is E. I ask him to pass me the ball by using their head. Right? It's a band or an artist again. I ask him to pass me the ball by using their head. And the last one, TR, the initials, TR. He's got the woolly ones, but I've got the ones that run and charge at you. What I forgot?
What?
He's got the woolly ones, but I've got the ones that run and charge at you. So what I forgot?
And what's the
TR for the initials. Right? Email in podcast@rickygervais.com. We just pick a winner, sing you some stuff. That's Rockbusters. Right?
Well, that's end of another half hour of. Could I just say this? Absolute drivel.
Yeah, I mean,
think.
really more than ever.
I mean,
can I be honest with you now, Rick? I'm embarrassed to put my name to this week's show because of the amount of twaddle there's been spoken.
it's my name on it, which is the embarrassing. But you know, let's take the village idiot that is Karl Pilkington. It's his fault because I realised not only has he got an head like an orange, he's got a fucking IQ of an orange. So it's goodbye from me. I'm not saying my name. Goodbye from Steve Merchant.
Why are you mentioning my name? Don't mention
But
my
mostly
name.
goodbye from Karl Pilkington.
Mainly his fault.
Welcome to number 4, season 2, the Ricky Gervais Show, with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of talk, Karl, that I bully you. Okay? You know, it's for your own good. I'm trying to train you, aren't I?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Because, and no disrespect, okay, you are what I would call a stupid idiot.
Well, can I just ask, Rick, because there's been an awful lot of emails that have said, will you and Steve please stop calling Karl stupid? Now,
Right.
they say, oh, it doesn't justify calling him stupid. Now, I don't know what part of injecting a 76-year-old woman in the head so that she lives her life backwards couldn't be considered stupid.
Okay, then listen, right, I've found some things that I think will interest you, and I want your first thoughts on these, okay? Now, these are facts that I've sourced, okay?
What's the actual topic?
Well, you love animals, don't you? You're interested in animal
Some
facts.
of them. I don't love them. Some of them fascinate me and stuff, but a lot of them also get on my nerves.
I don't know how an animal can get on your nerves.
They just do. Sometimes you sort of just think, what are they doing here? What are they offering anyone?
Right. See, I'm worried that these facts will annoy you now, but they're meant to fascinate you, and... Okay.
No, I think anything's good as long as it gets you thinking. It doesn't matter what opinion you have of something,
Yeah.
but as long as it gets a reaction.
Okay, then, here you
Right.
go. There's a frog, Carl. Just a little frog, a poison arrow frog, that contains enough poison to kill over 1,000 human beings.
Why is it that annoyed?
It's not annoyed.
Well, why is it going about killing 1,000 people?
No, it has the potential to. It has enough poison, it has enough toxin in it that could kill 1,000 human beings.
But does it need that? Whereabouts is this? Where's it living?
In the rainforest, I think.
And does it need that sort of power? Is it in that much? Is it getting threatened a lot? Is what I mean.
Well, no, because it's saying, don't come near me, and it shows it with its colours. It's got the colours that say it doesn't want to be eaten. It doesn't want people to chew a bit, right, and go, oh, I'm an idiot. It's saying, look at my colours, don't eat me. You don't want to come near me.
But then why give it bright colours? Because now it's standing out.
Yeah, and it's going, don't eat me.
Yeah, but make it a colour that fits in, like camouflage. Why make it orange? Of course it's going to stand out, and then they'll attack it. And then it'll turn around and bite them and kill 1,000 men or whatever.
No, it doesn't bite. It's the fact that if you were to eat it, you would die.
Yeah, but who's going to eat it?
Well, things that eat frogs.
The French.
And they go, sacre bleu! You have killed me and 999 of my friends.
But why is everything, like, surviving like this, though? I thought it was all about survival of the fittest, not the one who looks the hardest.
Well, but survival of the fittest is whether you're chosen or not by nature.
No, but I'd survive if I could go about killing 1,000 men at one bite. It's not fair.
It doesn't bite. It's
well, whatever, if it licks you or whatever. But
no,
it doesn't
not if it licks you. If you lick it.
Well, I'm not going to lick it. It's not going to happen. I will not be licking a frog. So it's of no danger to me. So I could still kill it, and there's no chance, at no point am I going to lick a little frog's head. Not when it's alive or when it's dead.
I love the fact it's all about you. It's all about how it relates to you.
And he's annoyed that they're getting away with something. He doesn't like any sly animals. He doesn't like animals hiding. He only wants them hide. He doesn't want animals killing things. Then he wants them to kill things. He doesn't know what he wants.
When they say survival of the fittest, they don't mean that, say, lions have been working out in a gym.
It
Do you
means
understand?
it means the fittest gene pool, and the fittest gene pool is a gene pool that's still around. That's all it is.
Yeah,
if it's here, it worked. I'll try and explain to you. The other day, a slug is as evolved as us.
It's not, though, is it?
It is.
It's not.
You think evolution is aiming towards
Miles
being
away
human?
from where we are.
What?
It's nowhere near what we're like.
But you're looking at it in terms of, this evolution has a will. It doesn't have a will. It's chosen or it's not chosen by nature. A slug got it right. A slug has got it as right as... What do you mean it hasn't?
Well, what was it like before it got it right?
But I think you think, Karl, that evolution is moving towards some kind of super being. Perhaps we're like the most advanced so far, but that one day we'll also have wings.
I agree with
and
that.
Superman-type powers.
No, but something can happen in nature. There could be something like, there could be less light, there could be more light, there could be meteor storms, there could be something that happen in nature, right? An external force, which means the paradigm goes back to naught. So then something that very unlikely would be the last thing to survive. There could, we don't know what's going to happen. I still don't think you've got the concept. It's one of the simplest concepts. It's one of the simplest models. This is why Darwin's a genius.
But you think that everything, slugs, cats, are all somehow, their ambition is to be like us, to be human, or to have the attributes like us, that they can speak, they can talk, they can think, they can act.
Only because
they don't.
Yeah, but I only think that because when you see people with these pets, lizards, cats, whatever, they treat them like the humans. So I think if you do that enough times, they're going to start getting familiar with certain...
Planet of the Apes.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking,
of Planet of the Apes.
Say like you with your cat, the way you talk to it, you give it a little cheeky massage and that when it's stressed out.
No, you made that up that it was stressed out. I'm just playing with my cat, right? If anything, the cat is to de-stress me.
So you're talking to your cat, Rick. Is it answering back much? How are the conversations going with your cat?
Well, I have more intelligent conversations with my cat than I do with him.
Yeah, here's one, right? When my gran died, right, she had this rubbish dog, right, and that's all we got left. It's like this little poodle. It was rubbish, right?
Right.
It was called Fluffy. And like my gran looked after it in a way that it was treated like a human. Do you know what I mean? Had a little coat on when it went out and all that. Anyway, so she died. We get left it. My dad's like, oh, bloody hell, right? Before you know it only took about a month. It was a wreck. Because we weren't sort of bathing it the way she bathed it. We let it out if it wanted to go out. It got covered in oil. It used to go under the car and everything. So it went from looking like this fluffy, poodle to just being a bit of a wreck. It got hit by a car. It ran sideways like a crab and all that.
In the course of how long? A month?
Probably about two months or something.
Yeah.
Now, so it went from being over-treated to just being treated like a dog.
Yeah. But a dog isn't, is not a indigenous species anywhere. We sort of bred those from, jackals and wolves.
Change it. Take away the dog thing, give someone a frog, and they'll still overdo it. They'll be trying to treat it like, if you had a frog, I mean that lizard thing you've got.
Salamander.
It's still sort of treated as part of the family, even though
it's not. How is it treated as part of the family?
Just the way, it's looked after, that big area that it's got to itself.
We stick it in a case and feed it a cricket now and again. How is that like one of the family?
It doesn't matter because it's in your flat.
It is in Karl's family.
It's in your flat, innit? And it's sat in that corner. I just mean, as time goes on, things get educated as they get older. How old's that lizard?
You don't.
How old is it?
About 15 years old.
Right. Now, it knows more now than it did when you got it, because it's been in those surroundings. It's had its eye on things.
Well, no, what do you think it knows? What do you mean it knows more now? They act on instinct. What does it learn? It knows when it hears the noise of a plastic case being unwrapped that a cricket's going to fall down any second. That's all it knows.
Yeah, but it didn't know that in the jungle. So it's already one up. What else has it learned?
Well,
I mean, it's 15, so presumably it listens to a lot of Linkin Park, goes on the internet a lot.
No, but do you know what I mean? You've already proved your point. It's like that fella who kept hitting the dog on the head with a stick.
Right. Pavlov, at no point did he hit a dog on the head with a stick.
But he kept doing it, and eventually the dog went, I'm sick of this, and wandered off, didn't it?
Pavlov there. Brilliant. Why didn't you write up his experiments? Because he did it a little bit different to that. I love that. Do you know what I'd like to do? A programme where you paraphrase someone's theory. So Pavlov's first. We could do, Freud. Give us, what do you know about Sigmund Freud? The father of psychoanalysis. Right, come on in.
I don't know anything on him.
Well, look him up. Educating Karl. That's your next week, right? Let's do another podcast next week. Then they get an extra one free, the people who paid for it, right? We're going to hear about Sigmund Freud, okay? Here's an interesting fact. If the frog annoyed you, this might annoy you. A blind chameleon will still change colour to match its surroundings. You're aware that the chameleon can...
Yeah, whatever it sits on.
Yeah.
But then what happens when you put one of them on a mirror? No, does it get stressed out, or what? What's it copying?
Well, it probably doesn't need to copy anything, because it looks at itself and it goes, oh, look like that, it's brilliant. God, that was fast. That's the fastest I've ever done that. That is brilliant.
So they can go any colour, there's nothing, you can put them on anything, and they'll go to the thing.
I don't want you to have a chameleon, because you'd just be trying to see what it could and couldn't do.
Try and catch it out.
Oh no, yeah.
Pop it on some tartan.
But again, say like the frog thing, right?
Pop it on the telly. Yeah. Couldn't do it fast enough.
Why does the chameleon need that skill of copying a colour? Because at the end of the day, that lizard, chameleon, whatever, that's mainly sticking in the woods, isn't it? By trees, by grass.
Right.
Why can't it just stay green? That's all it needs. Those colour changes are only for camouflage, aren't they?
I don't know. Some of them are for attraction, some of them to show moods, anger.
No, I just think we're encouraging them. You see, maybe this is evolution or whatever, but at the end of the day, because they can change colour, they're wandering out of their area. They can be wandering about, through a car park and everything, just because they'll go, well, I don't want to get seen, change the colour of concrete. Whereas...
Or into the colour of a Fiat Punto.
But they should just stay green. Stay green, right? Stay in the woods and stay safe.
I love this public information for chameleons.
Words of advice for chameleons.
Oh, God.
Stay green, stay in the woods, stay safe, good night.
Oh, God. Why are there blind chameleons around?
I'm assuming that the blindness has no impact on the colour change, presumably is an automatic.
It must be.
But then that's not going to wander about much anyway, is it? If it's blind, it'll probably stay where it is. so it doesn't need to keep changing. If you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean, no. I never do, though. Right. The only time a turkey whistles is when it panics.
Christmas time, then.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Karl?
It goes from one extreme to another, doesn't it? You've got a frog who's going mental,
It's not going mental.
killing thousands of people.
No, that's not.
That's got that sort of power. Then you got a turkey who's whistling for help.
You think that you should redress the balance a little bit? You want to give... What would you do? Give the frog the ability to kill 500 and the turkey 500?
I don't think it should be killing... I reckon 10. 10, because...
You've made your point with 10, haven't you?
Do you think that he's got 1,000 in his lifetime, like he's got 1,000 to kill? I don't think you understand.
I just
He
think...
doesn't really kill 1,000 people. That stat is about that if you were to boil up a frog, decanter the poison, there would be enough poison to split between 1,000 people and kill them. It doesn't mean someone goes, "Frog, you have the power to kill 1,000 people in your lifetime.
Choose them wisely.
But I just think if it needs that sort of power...
It should be fighting evil.
Well, it's not... it's knocking about the wrong area, isn't it? If it's under that much danger, move.
As ever, thanks very much indeed for all of your emails, podcast@rickygervais.com. It's lovely to hear your feedback. Many of them obviously responding to the inanity that Karl has spouted over the various shows. And a lot of people just want your opinion on things. They just throw things at you. They just want to know what you make of them.
Right.
For instance, are you familiar with multiple dimensions? The idea of multiple dimensions?
Go on.
Well, you know, there are theories which state that we are just in one of an infinite number of dimensions. And in all of those other dimensions, every possible variation that you could imagine exists. So there is a Karl in one of those other dimensions that's both man and woman. There is a Karl that's got hair. There is a Karl that's got a penis growing out of his face. There is every conceivable Karl. And this is a scientific theory, not science fiction. It's a scientific theory.
Is it a planet?
No, it's a multiple dimension. It's another dimension that exists in parallel with the dimension we are living in now. So we're living in our dimension, and right next to us, intangible, unable to communicate with it or touch it or interact with it.
So
there
I'm
are
still
multiple
doing
dimensions.
what I'm doing now, but I'd be sat here with a knob on my head.
Exactly.
Exactly the same life.
Exactly the same life, but with the knob on the head. Now, because there's an infinite number of dimensions, there's another one where you're not doing this. You're sat there with a knob on your head, but you're talking French.
Why is this happening?
There is one, Karl, and this is a fact, that you're talking French with a knob in your mouth.
Exactly. And no one can make his head or tail of what you're saying.
No, because it's pidgin French anyway.
Exactly.
But who came up with this?
Well, it's because there are phenomenons that happen at the subatomic level that people are explaining as being that, for instance, atoms or very, very small molecules are disappearing and reappearing. And people are saying...
The fact that we're trying to dissect this theory, and you said very, very small molecules.
Well, yeah, okay. Atoms, neutrons...
And is there anything that we look at on this planet that we go, that's weird, but it would fit in normal in another dimension? It's just so happened.
I think
no, but say like the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Was he alright, but he was just in the wrong dimension?
I love this.
Well, it's an interesting thought. I mean, of course, there is one dimension that where you are the ruler of the world, and everyone thinks you are a genius.
Yeah.
I'd hate that though. I just don't understand why we're worrying about this though.
No, nor do I.
Well, we're not worrying about it.
Well, they are, because scientists and that sat in a room somewhere going, what's going on? What's happening in the other dimension? But we can't get to it, can we? So
Well,
that's why I don't worry about it.
I agree with Karl. It's largely pointless. It's academic. It's like when a person does philosophy, and the first lecture he ever goes to, he comes out and he goes in the student union. He goes up to someone who's doing English or science and goes, "Oh, you right, mate? That table's not there." They go, "What?" They go, "The table's not there." He goes, "What? How do you notice?" They go, "What? What are you talking about? The table's not there." They go, "Isn't it there? Can you feel that? Is it there or not?" And his beret falls off.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's not a big chat up line as well when you've got a little bit of philosophy and you try to spout off. Because of course I told you before, haven't I, when I was doing a school play and there was a girl. I was trying to crack onto her. But I was going through my sort of, you know, fifth form phase of sort of reading Catcher in the Rye and all the rest of it, rebelling against the system. And, I thought, well, she's gonna find me appealing if she realises how smart I am. So Can
I just ask you one thing?
Yeah.
Is this before or after the phase when you thought a bow tie would sort you out?
This was before the bow tie phase. Yeah. There was a phase, I should say, for new listeners, where I, for about 6 months, wore a bow tie because I thought it made me look sort of like I was from a Jeeves and Wooster book. And I thought that was very urbane and sophisticated. But, yeah, we're doing the school play, and, there was one point where everyone was hanging out in one of the rooms, music rooms, getting changed, joking, laughing, cracking onto each other, right? I was sat in the room next door, empty room, on my own, right? Reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, the, sort of, kind of, you know, populist philosophy book from the 70s. Just sat reading that, in the hope that she would, walk in the room, see me, think, my God, he's obviously wise, and presumably, you know, get off with me. Must have sat there for about an hour and a half before anyone came in. And, she came in eventually, and, I thought, ding dong, this is it. She came in and said, have you seen Martin Wells? I said, I think he might be next door. She disappeared again. I gave her another 15 minutes on the hope that she'd come back. She didn't. I went in the next room, she was getting off with Martin Wells.
Oh no.
Because he'd been dancing around with no trousers on. So, all I'll say is, there's a valuable lesson learned. I think this was the same girl. I was at a party once, and I was with this girl, I was trying to impress her, and, someone lit some joss sticks. You know, just gonna give it a kind of hippie vibe, right? And I didn't know what joss sticks were. I thought they were some kind of drug, like cannabis. So these joss sticks are like, and I started going, because I thought we were all supposed to be getting high on these joss sticks. I started going, whoa. Oh man, these joss sticks are really doing me in, man. And everyone said, what do you mean? I went, oh, they're good stuff. This is good shit. And they said, what do you mean, joss sticks? They're not drugs, they're some incense. And I went, yeah, I know, I'm just saying they smell great, is what I'm saying.
Meanwhile, Martin Wells on the table, trousers down, everyone just throwing in money.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I don't know if there was another party where I don't think it was the same girl, but there's inevitably a girl there that I'm trying to, you know, impress. And I went up to, it was a house party in someone's house, I didn't know anyone there really. I was only
Steve, you come without trousers. Will it work for bloody Martin Wells?
And I went up to the toilet, and I had to do, you know, number twos.
Brilliant.
And I did them. There was no toilet paper. At the party. And I was like, and I was scrabbling around in this bathroom thinking, what can I use? There was nothing. And I was thinking, oh God, what can I do? And, as I recall, in the end, I couldn't make anyone hear. I didn't want to sort of go out into the hall and stuff. So I had to shout out the window into the garden where everyone was.
No!
Yeah. And someone had to come and bring me some. And,
Brilliant.
Once again, it didn't... Well, I wish I'd fucking had Zen in the Iron Motorcycle Maintenance, then I could have ripped some fucking pages out and wiped my arse.
Oh, Jim fancies that. He's gone and written it down again.
That's the ever-changing jingle for Karl's diary, excerpts of which we like to read each week. Suzanne said today can be my day because she has been a bit of a pain with her illness and that. So she said I can do what I want today. We went for a walk around Green Park. Loads of tourists were about looking at the Queen's house. She was in because the flag was up. I wouldn't want to live there. Why wouldn't you want to live there? Just because it's right in the centre of town?
It's just not in a good place, is it? It's got a roundabout outside and that.
Really busy.
It's pretty good.
I went for a pee in the toilets. When I came out, a pigeon had shat on Suzanne's coat. She was in a bit of a mood about it. A bird shat on my ear once. I left it for about 10 to 15 minutes until I got home. I washed it off, and in that 10 to 15 minutes, it had corroded me ear.
Yeah, he's had a lot of problem with ears. He told me the other day, he got up, washed, had a bath, had some breakfast, went to the shops to get a newspaper and had a chat with a woman in the corner shop, got home, pottering around, looked in the mirror, he had a cotton bud sticking out of his ear. He went, what annoyed me was, she didn't say anything. Like it's her responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but she knows me well enough to sort of, go, you got a cotton bud in your ear.
No, she knows you well enough to go, Carl's got a cotton bud in his ear, I've seen worse. When you've got a cotton bud in your ear, what interrupted
I think
you?
Suzanne called or my dad called or something, and then because I was running a little bit late because I'd been talking to them, the earbud was in, I just popped my coat on and went to the shop.
Carl, you got a toothbrush in your mouth. Oh.
Walked through Covent Garden. There were 5 of them mimes knocking about. I don't understand why people take pictures of mimes. Everyone looks like a mime in a picture.
That's so true. That's really true. If the point is they're staying still, if that's their skill, a picture won't tell that story. That's absolutely true.
My dad took the cat to be put down today because it kept bumping into things since losing its sight. My mum said she's not going to get another one. She said the parrot is looking worried as it's seen the budgie and the cat go in the space of 3 months.
Your mum said the parrot's looking worried. What happened to the cat then?
It gets into a lot of fights. It lost one eye, and then it got into another fight and lost another.
Oh,
and
no.
it was just walking around bumping into stuff. The vet sort of said, we can do stuff to keep it alive and all that, but it's a bit out of order, isn't it? Because it costs a fortune, they shouldn't tell you.
But
Mum and Dad can't afford to have eyes put on it and stuff.
no, you can't have eyes put on a cat
No,
anyway.
but they said, we can do something here. We can have its eyes sorted out.
But I don't think you should be allowed cats.
Why?
Not the Pilkington family.
Why not? Well,
they
they have
keep
good
dying.
lives. Yeah, I know, but they have good lives whilst they're still knocking about. It's just that we get through them.
It's a good job you're not going to have kids.
Oh, God almighty. I can't believe it. The cat that kept throwing up. So his mum shaved it. Unbelievable. Dry wipe cat.
A mate sent me a story on email about a bloke in China who has this weird illness that means he can't have his picture taken. That's not the weird bit. If he tries, his body doesn't appear in the photo.
Don't talk shit.
He has had group pictures taken and everyone appeared apart from him.
Don't talk shit.
The
That's
story
bollocks.
had a picture next to it of a family photo and it said he was stood at the back, but you couldn't see him.
Right, he wasn't in the picture.
He was in the picture.
No, he wasn't in the picture.
We've done loads of tests and stuff.
No,
on him.
I haven't done loads of tests. This is bollocks. There's no way this is scientifically possible. What's his yeah, now he's wanted. Just a white bit of paper up on the police wall. Have you seen this man? What man? If you see him, tell us. You're talking shit.
Suzanne watched the film You've Got Mail tonight for about the 14th time. I don't think you could properly fancy someone without seeing them, unless you're blind. I think it's odd when blind people have affairs. Why is that odd?
Just because most stuff is based on looks, innit? So you think once they've found someone, they're happy with them. Stick with them.
But no, it's not true. I mean, most things are based on looks.
What I mean is when you first like meet someone and that.
Well, initially it's only looks because you don't know them.
So that's what I'm saying.
But that's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it?
Well, no, it's just what I think. I'm not saying that's like fact or anything. I'm just thinking if you're blind, why mess about?
You're still basing on it if it's only looks that people find. What?
Yeah, I'm just saying. So why is a blind person messing about having an affair?
Because I'm saying that presumably that blind person isn't basing anything on looks.
Alright, I mean, maybe that's not, I mean more like...
Do you want me to cross it out? Shall I cross it out? Because
it's just the same way, I think I put how, people, I read something in a Sunday paper once with some bloke who was going out with some woman, he ended up going out with a sister who was a twin. If you're gonna have a change, have a change.
Spoke to Ricky about trips to the moon. He was up for going just to see what the world looks like. I came up with the idea of a giant mirror on the moon that would reflect the world back. He had a few questions, but I had the answers.
Yeah.
He changed the subject, I won.
Right. My first question was, how would you get it up there? He said bit by bit. That'd be a good mirror then, wouldn't it? I said, how big would it be? He went, you'd still need a telescope. I said, how would you get it on the right side of the moon, always facing the right? He went, what? He went, does the moon move then? I went, yes.
And if we don't like the mirror on the moon, we can always wallpaper over it. It's Suzanne's birthday tomorrow, so I've got to get her something. I sometimes think it would be best if we didn't celebrate birthdays. I think people would live a bit longer if they didn't know how old they were. Age puts restrictions on things. She said something about wanting one of them posh badges to put on her coat. I will look for one later.
I love the fact that around the time that you've got to buy Suzanne her birthday present, you think that birthday presents are a bad idea.
Got up early, it's Suzanne's birthday, gave her the card and present. She was well happy with her posh badge. She wore it to work. It's quite nice to hear a moment where she was actually happy for once in your company. They always say when you get someone a present, you should buy them something they wouldn't buy themselves. Daft rule. I want something I would buy myself if I had the money. When I was young, me Auntie Nora got me a present I wouldn't buy myself. It was a t-shirt with her face on. Looked at what's been going on in the world. Someone has found some people who live in an old town somewhere where they are so old-fashioned they still walk on all fours. There is a picture of them and they use shoes on their hands.
That's not old-fashioned. Why is that old-fashioned?
That's some kind of regressive evolution.
Yeah, really old-fashioned.
Yeah.
It's not true, is it?
It is true. It's somewhere in,
Well, I believe they have found a group of people that are living and walking around on all fours, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't believe they're wearing shoes on their hands.
And I don't believe they haven't evolved to standing up.
No, they just haven't seen other people walking on 2 feet.
Don't talk shit all your life.
That's all it's about, though, isn't it? You copy. When you're a baby, if you were stuck in a room, you'd wander about on all fours, because that's the way, that's an easy way of getting about. So you only walk on 2 feet because you see everyone else doing it.
Well, I don't believe that is the case, because as I understand it, some of the family are walking on 2 feet. So I don't know what the ins and outs of it are. I know there's a forthcoming documentary on the BBC, so maybe we should watch that and then we'll all know what's going on. Instead of just leaping to conclusions because you read half of it on the internet and then skipped on to something
all
else.
I'm saying is, though, you would wear shoes on your hands if you're roaming about like that.
So you just confessed there that you leapt from fact to fiction, did you, in the space of one diary entry?
It's just that I saw a little picture.
And you assumed that they'd be wearing shoes on their feet?
If they've got shoes on their feet, they might as well have them on their hands, because their hands are doing the same as the feet. If you're not going to wear them on your hands, don't put them on your feet then.
I'm beginning to think some monkey news was bollocks.
Treated Suzanne to her tea, went and got her a curry from the shop opposite. While I waited for the food, I read a story in the Metro newspaper about an alien gang that kept appearing in someone's garden.
Christ.
The bloke moved, but when he used to pass the house at night, he would still see the aliens knocking about, hiding underneath his old shed. There was other alien stuff, but I had to go as the food was ready.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying, that.
Yeah, load of bollocks again. Well, good. More, drivel from Karl's diary next week. Right. Rockbusters. Quick.
Right then, so last week gave you some initials, again, of artist or a band.
Quick.
Cryptic clue and that.
Yeah.
The first one I gave you, the initials were ND.
Yeah.
That Jamaican fella, he doesn't want anything. Right? So you got to think about the accent there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything, so he's not sort of demanding anything.
Okay.
No sort of demand, nil demand. Nil demand. So it's like Neil Diamond.
They'd say Neil Diamond, please.
No,
Can I have some Neil Diamond?
No.
Right.
Nil demand.
But just now it was all to do with, I've got no demands. Now it's a Jamaican person going in and asking for Neil Diamond in a Jamaican voice.
Yeah, I know, but it's a cryptic clue, innit?
Doesn't work.
The second one was, the initial was E. I asked him to pass me the ball by using their head. What do you do if you chuck someone a ball?
They head it back.
Edit that, yeah.
They head it back.
So you'd say, edit to us. Editors. That's editors.
What is it? Is it?
It's a band that
No, there's a
quite
band
good at
called
moment.
The Editors, but there's no band called Editus.
Editus. What's that? Is it Greek? Is it a Greek band?
Again, cryptic. Just, you gotta
No,
think
again,
cryptic.
bollocks.
Then the last one, TR it was the initials.
Yeah.
The cryptic clue. He's got the woolly ones, but I've got the ones that run and charge at you.
Go on.
What I forgot?
Dunno.
Well-
Sheep. Something to do with sheep.
Right, something to do with sheep. They're the woolly ones.
Yeah.
What are the ones that run and charge at you?
Oh, they're woolly as well.
No,
The
but
rams.
not as woolly. The rams, right?
Yeah, they're...
The ram ones, right? If you write that down.
No,
What's
you not
that?
write it down. It's
That's
a...
Ramones.
The Ram ones.
The
No,
ram
but
ones.
it's how you say it, isn't it? It's not, because it's not...
No, it sort of changes about a bit, just cryptic.
But your understanding of the word cryptic is it can be anything.
What am I thinking? Cryptic?
Cryptic clues in a crossword have a logic to them, that's why people are able to answer them.
Well done to Neil Fennon, who's in Canada.
Well, I just don't know what that says about Neil.
Bollocks this. Right, do the next week's one.
Right, then.
Just get it over with, we gotta stop this. Monkey News is coming back.
No, it's not coming back, there's nothing going on, we're not doing it. Right, SC are the initials of the artist of the band.
Go on.
SC. The cryptic clue.
Just stop saying cryptic, because it's not.
The clue is, I went into the restaurant on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and the fella making the food was there each time. Right? SC are the initials. I went into the restaurant on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday if you want. The fella making the food, he was there each time.
So you changed it? Was he there Saturday and Sunday or not?
He can be if you want, I'm just saying he's there a lot.
Oh, this is like pulling teeth.
I'm trying to hurry it up. And the second one, go into that woman's store and rip her off, right?
Right.
That's C.
Okay.
C. Go into that woman's store and rip her off.
Okay.
If you're gonna do that.
Oh, don't mumble at the end of it. Go on. Just do the clue.
And the last one, the initial E.
Last one ever.
You have had a go at laying down a track, but it ain't perfect, right? So you're sort of making a track.
No, just do the clue.
You're making a track.
Give us the clue. Don't just talk around it. Right, the initial is E.
E.
What's the clue?
You have had a go at laying down the track, but it ain't perfect.
Fine.
A music track.
Yeah.
Well, no. You can't. No, these people can't ask questions.
Well, I can.
Oh God.
So send them in. podcast@rickygervais.com.
Right, that's the end of another Ricky Gervais show.
Oh, thank God for that.
Another one next week. We've got to give value for money, because this is shit. So we've got to, what we do is, because this is such dreadful bollocks, we're giving more of it.
Yes, that's lucky them.
Yeah. So it's cheerio from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Bye.
and Karl Pilkington.